Today's big question. What's the best way of getting a lift when you're stuck in the middle of nowhere?
Suppose you needed a car right here, right now. There are no roads, so what do you do?
It's simple, really. All you do is deliver the car in one of these.
This is a Hercules transport plane. There's plenty of room in the back for your car. These huge fat tyres mean that it can land on really rough surfaces. And these propellers can be put into reverse, so the whole thing can stop on really short runways.
But there's no runway in the middle of nowhere, not even a short one, so the Hercules can't land. But that's not a problem. With one of these things, you don't even have to land. You just chuck the car out the back as you're flying along.
Violet, you know, I've been thinking, perhaps we ought to use something a bit more robust than a regular car. Something like a Land Rover.
Yeah, and we'll need something to put it in so it survives the drop. Something big. And some enormous parachutes. And some of these. Take it away, fellas. These guys are air dispatchers. Lobbing things out of aeroplanes is their job. You want to get some food to the middle of nowhere? Well, bag it and drop it.
If you want to drop something a bit bigger, say like ski equipment, attach it to a parachute and chuck it out the back of a Hercules.
And the stuff just gets bigger and bigger. Spare tyres, fuel containers, camping equipment, computers, boats.
You name it, they'll drop it. Even Land Rovers.
One Land Rover, secured in its cage and ready to drop. The idea is that when it hits the ground, the airbags underneath and the cage take the blow. The Land Rover has to be loaded into the Hercules, but however well packed it is, it'll never survive the drop without parachutes.
And here are those parachutes. This is the first one to be paid out. It's only small. What happens is it's released out the back of the aircraft, fills full of air and pulls out the main parachutes.
They're huge, there are 3 of them, and they're attached to the bottom of the cage. So when they open up, they pull the whole thing out in less than 3 seconds.
So now the Land Rover is ready to be dropped wherever you want, like the middle of nowhere.
Well, I better get to the middle of nowhere then.
Taxi runway 36 Central, caution 1 Bulldog, taxi in the same way. Enter 126, roger.
The Army and the Air Force don't just drop everything to drop Land Rovers at the drop of a hat.
This is good practice for when they need to do it for real. For instance, when there's a disaster, like a flood or a drought, and supplies are needed urgently.
Timing the drop is absolutely crucial. The navigator has to work out when to release the parachutes. Even if he's only 5 seconds late, the Land Rover will land 300 metres from where it's supposed to be.
Aha! I knew it'd be here somewhere. Now, where's my lift?
And if we could run the tactical descent checks, please. Certainly. Just coming.
When all 3 parachutes are out, the only thing holding the cage and the Land Rover in the Hercules is this cable. There's no release mechanism, it just snaps.
Come on, Gareth.
I'm just going to follow the valley, the river.
We're almost at the middle of nowhere, over what they call the drop zone. Now they've opened up the hatch at the back of the Hercules. Let's hope it works.
The wind is about 300 at 12 knots at this height at the moment. Oh, roger.
Yay! Here he comes!
Ready now.
There are the parachutes. They'll open in a moment. And it's out! Wait for the airbags. They've inflated. Cross your fingers. Oof!
Well, the Land Rover's down. Let's see if it survived.
How about that, eh? There's not a scratch on it, and it started first time. So what's the best way of getting a lift when you're stuck in the middle of nowhere?
Ask the military to drop you a Land Rover. It's what they do.